shiny, shiny. Okay, any of you watched our previous videos, you'll have seen our engine, which was very, very unreliable, very smoky, and sometimes would be very, very reluctant to start. This one's a little different. Now, those of you that have been on boats, especially on the canal, know when you are passing other boats, and this is a much talked about topic on many a forum, slow down. Now, before we had the engine replaced, we had no choice, we were slow anyway. But now I'm going to have to adjust my sort of behaviours, because I will need to slow down, because she is capable of going that little bit faster. Okay, we have a week to kill, if you will, because Mark, who was installing the engine, they're away on their sort of family narrowboat holiday, and it couldn't be helped because we didn't know when the engine was going to be delivered, so it was impossible to book our time in for the engine installation. So I've kind of worked around that, and they've been very accommodating. But it gives me a week to do some bits and pieces around the boat, but also take her out like we're doing now on very short journeys, you know, a few hours at a pop, to see if there's any anomalies, if you will. So this is the third time now that we've took Badger out. The first two, no issues, touch wood. So this is number 3. So as soon as we pass these boats here, I'll go on the revs a little bit. Obviously we won't be doing any superhuman speeds, but put her through her paces, and hopefully it'll be the same as the other runs, because she seems to be behaving very well, and night and day compared to how the engine was before. Okay, we're on the Birmingham Fazeley Canal here, and we've been around this area now for a couple of months, as those of you watching will know. Now behind me is Fazeley Junction, but this little stretch here on the way down to the locks on the Birmingham Fazeley is very pretty, nice places to moor. But it's also got one of my favourite little bridges that I've seen on the network so far, and it's almost like a folly. It's done like a little castle turrets, if you will. It's a footbridge that goes across, and then there's a little swing bridge on one side. But yeah, it's cute. Test run number 3 so far has been very successful. Very pleasant weather, engines performing fine. This is a particularly shallow canal, hasn't been dredged for a very, very long time, and as such I don't think we're really getting a true idea for the performance, as it were. But it's much better than before. She's not making as much noise as before, she's not as smoky as she was before. Starts first time with no effort whatsoever, and if I do push the revs she will go. So yeah, successful so far. I think we're going to moor away from the boatyard tonight. I'm going to find ourselves one of our favourite spots maybe, and then see how we go. Badger's doing very well. She's chugging along quite nicely. We've done 3 or 4 kilometres down the Birmingham and Paisley, and we're turning around. We're going to head back up this way and look for one of our preferred mooring spots from the last few months, and spend the night, make some food, have a beer, relax, and head back to the boatyard tomorrow. Give us a wave. Alright, successful, very successful overnight trip. Nice to be out in the wilds again, if you will, on Badger. Loads more confidence in the engine. She sounds good, she starts first time, there's no smoke, it's nice. So time to celebrate. So thanks to Rich, old mate of mine who's now in Oregon. So thank you for the beers and using the link for the buy me a coffee link, but I'm not buying a coffee, I'm going to go and buy myself. I'll show you in a second. Well, that went well. We took her out, we stayed overnight, we started this afternoon to make the run back. She starts effortlessly, there's no leaks, there's no coolant leaks, no oil leaks, there's no smoke, so we don't, you know, billow smoke and behave like either or the engine anymore, which is good. No, it's very good. It just felt nice to have that bit of confidence with when you push the throttle, you get a result at the end of it. I'm happy. It's very good. She's behaving well, so fingers crossed that continues. There's a lot of tidying up to do. I still need the painting to finish the painting off in the engine bay, but I don't see the point in doing that just yet until we've figured out if everything's good to go. Because if it's not, then we're going to have to go back in the engine, and then who knows, it all gets dirtied up. So once we get the final okay and we leave, then I'm going to complete the painting of the engine room, because she looks nice. It's neat anyway, but yeah, very happy. And cheers Rich in Oregon, old friend who's moved out there. Thanks for the beers, using the buy me a coffee link. I don't care if you buy me a coffee or a beer, but I bought a beer, so cheers fella. And it goes down good at the moment because I have less worries. I've still got things to address, and there's rust to treat on various parts of the boat, and we've still got the solid fuel stove to put in. But having that little bit of confidence with Badger now when we're out cruising is huge, because we've had moments where we've been urging and praying and willing her on, you know, to get to our destination at half a mile an hour. So yeah, it feels good. Now we're hoping to have all the other bits and pieces finalised before next weekend, hopefully. And if that's the case, then the vlog next week should be us out cruising again. If it's not, it'll be the final stages of what we're doing here. But until next week, cheers guys.